Since 2010, government policy on funding has been to gradually reduce spending on the NHS as a percentage of GDP. If the government were to pursue a policy of cost reduction further into the future, we could be headed for a generation of zero growth. The lower horizontal line is today's GDP. And a generation of zero growth is something which is essentially unheard of in a modern developed economy. What's the alternative? Of course, there are many alternatives. We've modelled a scenario where government policy has three strands. First of all, fund the NHS in line with need. Well, that hasn't been happening. The second strand is to increase spending on preventive healthcare, and the third strand is to use the resulting growth in GDP to fund poverty reduction initiatives. And the results are extremely encouraging, although there is a need for very significant increases in funding over the next few years, a little bit similar to what happened between 2000 and 2010 when funding did increase on the NHS and performance increased. But in the long run, NHS funding will not need to increase as a percentage of GDP year on year. It is long-term sustainable. This scenario also sees far better economic performance. With this policy, growth will be higher and the UK will meet the OECD targets for GDP in the year 2060. So in short, while a properly funded NHS is sustainable and is good for the UK economy, an underfunded NHS will mean a failed UK economy.